What's going on, everybody? Uh, I don't know. I don't want to say Happy Monday because it's not. Because I am joined by my best friend of 10 years now, uh, and pretty much both of our NFL teams were dealt a really shitty hand yesterday. So with that, let me formally welcome you to the pit of misery, dilly dilly.
Thanks.
So yeah, Browns kicked ass for like 50 minutes, um, then decided to completely shit themselves and blow a 21-7 lead against the Packers, the Aaron Rodgers-less Packers, and yeah, just Hugh Jackson pulled the mother of all Hugh Jacksons. He had a chance to prove. I'm not even mad. I am. I'm mad that we're not going to win. But you know what? If anything, this is the game this is the final nail in Hugh Jackson's coffin in his career, because this was just an all-out pathetic performance. Yeah, and we got way too conservative. We went into a fucking prevent, which after the drive should just almost every good competent coach doesn't use the prevent anymore. And so I don't know, I feel really bad for Kaiser because he had one of the best games of his career. I think he tied a Browns rookie record um, for having three passing touchdowns in a game. Bernie Kosar was the last one to have it, I believe. Um, I don't know. I just feel bad for the kid. And what's even worse, this just shows how stupid Hugh Jackson is. And I'll let you talk about your Eagles in a minute, but this just shows how fucking stupid Hugh Jackson is. That you had to bring in John Dorsey, a guy who scouted guys like Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews, Jordy Nelson, Tyreek Hill. The guy knows talent when he sees it. He had to apparently. So this is according to Dan Lab of Cleveland.com and Plain Dealer, pretty much. So I was watching his recap with Mary Kay Cabot, another Browns media personnel who's right. She's like a female Tony Grossi. Okay. um,
Okay.
she or he was saying how he was in the locker room and look, I watched some of the post game player interviews. They talked about the touchdown sunglasses, and Corey Coleman sounded like he was ready to cry. Like this just was like a huge punch in the gut to them, and it's the coach's fault. You can't be blaming the players for this shit. Okay. It's just, so anyway, Kaiser supposedly had his hands in his head, or his head in his hands, for up to 10 minutes. And where was our coach? Where? Oh yeah, that's right. He wasn't doing shit. You know what happened? According to Dan Lab, John Dorsey, the new general manager, had to come over and encourage him, tell him, "You're a good quarterback. You did everything right except for one thing.
Oh
Don't
my
get
God.
down on yourself." Our fucking general manager had to tell our quarterback, "You'll be fine. You're good. You're talented. Blah blah blah." Basically, he was basically in the locker room saying, "Guys, you don't have to play for this motherfucker anymore." Because, and if you notice during the game, okay, if you notice during the game, John Dorsey was sitting in the owner's box with Jimmy Haslam, talking to Jimmy Haslam. As they kept showing them, Jimmy Haslam getting more pissed off. And I'll tell you why. Because he was probably telling him, "Look, Hugh Jackson's the problem with this team. I know why you hired me, because you wanted to get the analytics nerds out of the front office. But this guy can't coach for jack shit. The talent is here. We have the cap space. This guy's not a good coach, though. He's part of the record." And Jimmy Haslam didn't want to hear it. And apparently, John Dorsey's winning the battle with that. So Hugh Jackson is more than likely going to be fired on Black Monday. And apparently, Dorsey already has his candidates in mind. Uh, so this nightmare known as Hugh Jackson and his constant talking of "gotta get better" as a team may be over.
Oh, thank God. Um, Look, I think Kaiser played the best game of his career yesterday until that play in overtime, which I have no idea what the hell he was even looking at. Um, just I expected this. Um, expected us to lose as soon as I saw us going prevent.
Yeah, and the prevent is that it just baffles me that it's still used. Like Marty Schottenheimer used it in the '86 with the drive. Then after that, he's just like, "Fuck that! I am never using that shit again." Did Greg Williams never watch the drive? I mean, they rushed 3 fucking people, and Elway had the middle wide open. All he did was throw to his tight end.
No, because Greg Williams is a stubborn, incompetent, swearing, dumb, smartass little bitch who, when it comes to the game on the line, the guy does not know how to call defense.
No, and here's the thing, though. Here's the thing that's really a fucking bummer about Greg Williams. He turned this defense into a physical pack of wolves. If we think about it, Jabril Peppers is already a hard hitting safety. He just made him even better. Myles Garrett and Emmanuel Ogba were turning into a deadly fucking defensive end duo. Our defensive line is great. I like our linebackers aside from Joe Schobert's covering, but I think if you bring in a middle linebacker, a veteran middle linebacker to kind of, teach him that stuff, he's good. So if Greg Williams has a good player, he just doesn't. He creates a good winning culture with them where he's like, if you show up late for practice, you're fucked. Like that kind of guy. But then on the field, he just shits himself because he's playing that fucking angel defense. He puts his fucking linebackers into coverage on 3rd and 2, or he does everything opposite. 3rd and 2, he sends them way back into coverage and leaves the middle wide open. 3rd and 8, he fucking blitzes. He does a fucking engage 8 on 3rd and 8. It's just, I don't get it. And that's where Hugh Jackson should have to come in and be like, or any coach for that matter. How fucking Pat Shermer probably has more balls than this fucker. Okay, you probably you have to have a coach where you can say, pull your fucking safety in, quit playing prevent and play cover and play zone or man to man. Okay, because this game we're not inside 2 minutes, asshole. Okay, there's 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
It's like super prevent. We're like the corners are like 30 yards off the line of scrimmage.
He's playing it like there's 1 second left in the fourth quarter. The Packers are down by 2. It's when you're up by 2 touchdowns. It's just
I just don't get why Schobert in a Tampa 2 is 15 yards back.
Fuck the Tampa 2. I told you that every time I use it in Madden, it doesn't work. Almost half the time when you're like, well, what was that covered? It's because it wouldn't allow me to convert to a cover 2. It gave me the Tampa 2 instead. So fuck the Tampa 2 and fuck the prevent. Prevent cost us a Super Bowl.
It's pretty much the same thing. You have both safeties. With the Tampa 2, though, the linebacker moves more to the flat instead of covering. And
I hate that. I hate the Tampa 2. I just do a cover 2.
I don't think it's that bad, but Greg Williams doesn't know how to fucking use it. In that situation, you should be playing cover 4. Move, have 2 safeties back there, maybe 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage instead of fucking 30. And I get his strategy, right? Don't give up the deep ball. But you can still not give up the deep ball by moving your safeties closer to the line of scrimmage. It's not that fucking hard.
And you're doing it without Jabril Peppers, who was out with a knee injury, and you had to put in fucking Kai Nakua, who fucked up like in the first 2 minutes with this dumbass penalty. That was just idiotic. You think that a guy who went to good old uppity or good old moral school in BYU would actually know how to fucking not shove people on the Packers. And let's talk about these refs too. Okay, you know how many blown pass interference calls there were on Josh Gordon and Corey Coleman?
No, because I really wasn't watching until the fourth quarter, so.
I know. Well, all right. So first quarter, Josh Gordon had a good he had a touchdown basically.
I saw that on the highlight reel. Now that was a nice catch.
Okay, no. I know which one you're talking about. There was another one where he had a clear touchdown, and in comes a guy, and Josh Gordon's hands were up, and he just kind of swipes Josh Gordon's hand before the ball even gets there. And they're like, no flag. And I think Chris Spielman was just he kind of like muttered to himself. He's like, no flag, really? Like he was kind of surprised because it was blatant, and the fans were getting pissed. And then there was and then on the final the one where Kaiser threw the interception, Josh Gordon was getting held, and everybody's like, oh, but it wasn't beyond 5 yards. Like, yeah, you're allowed to make contact with him by 5 yards, but he was fucking grabbing onto him and dragging him down the line of scrimmage. And it's just they blew so many calls, and then that illegal contact against Jason McCourty, I thought was bullshit. Just because you're like, that's a good call. I'm like, yeah, but when you've seen how bad the refs were performing, I don't get why you would just kind of say, you know what, we fucked up the first 2 times. We're gonna let that one slide. Also, Chris Tabor's probably gonna get fired.
Yeah, but look, bad teams are not gonna get the calls, and I think that's what we're seeing around the NFL. That's what I've seen around the whole day yesterday in the NFL. Bad teams are not gonna get the calls they probably should because they're just like, well, doesn't make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that being said, and this is my problem. With all that being said, is this. We should have won that game.
No
Absolutely. It does not matter about the penalties. We
It kind of does. The one penalty and that one Josh Gordon penalty, though, that it happened in the end zone, so we would have had the ball at the 1 yard line. I think like the next play resulted in a 3 and out or something like that. So we could have been up 28-7 if it wasn't for that fucking blown call. That's what pissed everybody off.
I get that, but you're also up 21-7 going into the fourth quarter, and instead of attacking and actually playing defense, you act like the game's over.
Yeah, I know. And that's on the coaches, because if it was on the players, they would be celebrating and everything. They weren't celebrating. Like they were just kind of, they're like, okay, we still got to go out there and finish. And it seemed like the coaches were the ones who were like, oh, no, it's fine, we got it.
Right.
Or it should have been the other way around. We should have had a coach who's just like, you know what would have been a good speech. Greg Williams sits his whole defense down, and he makes he's like, look at that clock. He's like, and look at the scoreboard. It hasn't hit 3 zeros yet, so this game is beyond over. Or some shit like that. Instead, he's probably just like, it's 21-7. Oh, yeah, we're fine. Are you sure? It's only.
And here's a play to me that changed the game. To me, it was on Green Bay's game-tying drive going into overtime. All right, Carl Nassib has a chance to wrap up Brett Hundley, and at that point, then they have to spike the ball, and you're going to have to keep one into the end zone, and the game's probably over, and we probably win. Instead, Carl Nassib absolutely, like he goes to wrap. I don't know how you don't wrap up Brett Hundley, first of all.
And that's just that was another thing. Ogunjobi and Myles Garrett had a good game. They weren't able to really get to the quarterback, but there was film that came out where they were dominant. They were a dominant duo on stopping the run. That's a spot where Carl Nassib was, where we desperately miss Emmanuel Ogba. If he was there, I'd say Brett Hundley would have gone down 3 times.
Yeah, but he's not, and we're 0-13, and that's the reality we face. We're not making excuses. Even though that was the game we should have won, absolutely.
Oh, big time.
Last year I think we kind of looked at the Miami game and said, "Oh yeah, we definitely should have won that one." This year, it's the Green Bay game,
and the Steelers game, and the Titans game, and the Jets game. There have been so many games where our coaching staff has found a way to completely blow it. We should have 4 wins by now.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh game, I don't know.
That was Chris fucking Tabor's fault. Because he doesn't know how to fucking set up a special team.
Yeah, but we got a touchdown late. We were down by 2 possessions. Same with the Jets game. The Tennessee game, I will agree with you on. We should have absolutely won that game. Hugh Jackson's. And by the way, what is the one common denominator in all of this? Hugh Jackson's clock management.
Yeah, he fucked that up again too. That dumbass challenge, where even if he won the challenge, like the
I
Packers,
saw
yeah,
that. There was no reason to challenge that.
no, and I guarantee fucking to you why he challenged it, because Greg Williams' stupid ass just started going like, no, 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 no catch, no catch, and he's just like, I'll listen to my buddy and I'll throw out the challenge. How can somebody be that stupid in football? I thought we'd seen it with Pat Shurmur, but this is just, this is Rich Kotite bad.
You know where I think we made a mistake with Pat Shurmur?
Where?
He was too young.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
He was not ready to be a head coach, because look at him now in Minnesota. I would argue that if we rehired him, he'd be a good head coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he learned from Mike Zimmer, who's a terrific coach. You know, I don't know.
Pat Shurmur was too young. He didn't have experience. He didn't know what he was doing as a head coach. Where the difference is here, Hugh Jackson, I'm sorry, he's had experience in the NFL. He was around the NFL.
Oh, I know. This is why I can't stand people defending him on Twitter when they're just like, he didn't have the talent. He didn't have the time.
Yes, and again, they keep saying that.
This guy's not like Sean McVay. If Sean McVay was going out there playing like coaching like shit, okay, I'd kind of defend him because he's young. Hugh Jackson's 50 fucking years old. He should have at least 6 wins so far. This is just beyond infuriating.
And, oh, yeah, sure, maybe he doesn't have the talent. You could say that, but it's also the fact that his clock management, even without talent, has cost us 4 wins this year.
Exactly. He doesn't have the secondary. I'll give him that. Nor does he have a good running back. Isaiah Crowell is still hot garbage, even though he had a pretty good
game yesterday. Yeah. He had some good runs, and then Hugh Jackson's dumbass decides to put him in shotgun where he's not effective at all.
We need to stop running in shotgun. Kaiser's always in fucking shotgun, and it's so fucking stupid. And here's why I love Deshaun Kaiser. He's got everything that you want in a quarterback, but I think Hugh ruined him. I don't think there's any coming back from this shit. And he never really was an under center type of quarterback. Josh Rosen is. Josh Rosen's a really good pocket presence as well. Deshaun Kaiser's not. All he does is pump fake and do whatever. If Deshaun Kaiser was on this team last year, he would have been hurt by week 4.
You know? Tony Zarella made a great point yesterday.
Love that guy.
He said exactly what you said about Kaiser, that he has all the tools. But he's almost a sophomore in his second year in the NFL, and he's still making dumbass throws like that, like the 2 he made yesterday.
And they're in crunch time too. Like if they were in like the first or second quarter, where he can just be like, "Fuck, I shouldn't be doing that anymore." And then he comes in the fourth and he redeems himself. But he goes out there, and this is why it hurts even more, because he goes out there and you're like, "Okay, maybe he finally got it. Maybe he has something."
Right at the game's on the line, he makes the biggest mistake of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's why I think John Dorsey is in a really tough spot, because you have to make
I feel bad for the guy.
You have to.
Mm-hmm. I feel really bad for the guy.
Now, I would argue that maybe I don't really want to trade for a quarterback. I'd rather sign Alex Smith or Kirk Cousins in free agency and have a competition with Kaiser.
No, you know what? That might. Well, Kirk Cousins is going to want a lot of money regardless. I think that Alex Smith would be able, because I think especially now with the way that the Chiefs have collapsed, I think they're going to definitely go to Patrick Mahomes. So we could probably, Dorsey could probably get Alex Smith here for cheap. Okay, Alex Smith is that reliable veteran quarterback that we need. Remember that when we had Jake Delhomme and he went out there for like 6 weeks.
Trash, though.
Yeah, Alex Smith is not your Jake Delhomme. Where when we would go out there, like after week 1, we'd be like, "God damn it, can we just fucking start Rosen?" He's not that type of guy. Alex Smith would be the guy where he'll fuck up, but he'll find a way to win you the game still.
Right. And here's the thing. This is why I say this. I don't think this year is the year for us to draft a quarterback, because I think that this year's quarterback class is a little bit overrated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a lot of franchise quarterbacks out there. I mean, I think
Rosen is your clear-cut franchise quarterback. I'm kind of starting to revert on Baker Mayfield, And here's why. Because mobile quarterbacks, and there's this really good Browns account. His name's Down with Damon, and he does a podcast that I listen to. I'm trying to find his tweet, and oh, what is it? It was just on there a couple hours ago. Uh, oh, here we go. Okay. All right. A ton of Browns fans want Baker Mayfield. This is his Twitter account. A ton of Browns fans want Baker Mayfield, despite watching all these mobile, outside the pocket quarterbacks in the NFL getting season-ending injuries. Now, okay, I know you don't want to hear this, but I just got it. This is for informational purposes. Okay, here's the list: Deshaun Watson, Carson Wentz, Aaron Rodgers, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, Ryan Tannehill, Tyrod Taylor, and Andrew Luck are all hurt. They're all mobile quarterbacks. And he says, you know who isn't hurt? Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco, and Kirk Cousins. All
But what's in common with all those guys compared to all the guys that you just mentioned who are mobile? Number one, all the guys that are not mobile are also all veterans.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, those guys that are all mobile are also young quarterbacks. And by the way, maybe not forget a couple of those guys on that list, Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers, also tore their ACLs.
Yeah, but they were in the pocket, so it's kind of. I mean, they were. And here's my. And I know this is a sensitive subject for you, but here's one of my problems with Carson Wentz. He's tough. I'll give him that. But when I see him fighting for that extra yard, something concerns me because I hate
agree.
seeing quarterbacks do it. All right. So do it now that you've rude me because RG3 should be the poster child for that shit. Okay, look what happened to Deshaun Watson.
On this
and look
subject,
what's happened to Carson Wentz.
On that specific play where he dove into the goal line, and unfortunately, they didn't.
Why is your quarterback diving too? I would really like to sit down. If I could, I would really love to sit down with Doug Peterson. Great coach. I respect him. He's a great. He's going to end up being one of the greatest coaches.
Diving towards the end zone to get that touchdown when you're down by a point.
I understand that. But there's sometimes when your quarterback just needs to say, I don't remember the situation. If it was third down, then I get why he dove. Then it's justified. But if it's first down, there's sometimes where you just got to throw it in the back of the end zone and hope for a better play because I don't want my quarterback getting injured or having that risk.
That.
And now that especially the players are being told to dive for the legs.
I think this will be a good decision for Carson, and I think that he will learn from this, is my number one. Number two, the play wasn't even worth it because they called Wayne Johnson on a bullshit holding call that I didn't even see, which pisses me off even more.
Mm-hmm.
Because Carson went to play 4 more downs with a torn ACL and somehow found Alshon Jeffrey for
that was
touchdown.
And that was a terrible throw too, by the way. Like that wasn't a Carson Wentz throw. Like I was watching him, just kind of like, what the fuck did he see?
Yeah, I was.
So
I saw him come out of there limping. I was scared when I saw it.
Yeah, after that, I kind of just, did something else. Like, I think I went in the other room, did something, because I didn't want to watch the commercials or listen to Joe Buck anymore. And then I just kept getting notifications. I'm like, oh, fuck, what did he do? I thought it was maybe for, like, a concussion, because, like, when he dove, like, he did get hit pretty hard. So I'm like, okay.
Right, that's what I thought, too. I didn't think I thought it was originally an ankle, actually. I didn't think it was the knee.
No. And it's been confirmed torn by guys like Schefter. Doug Peterson himself even confirmed it. And and there was a video that showed his knee kind of going side to side, his left knee. So that was like, I can't believe he fucking walked off the field though and went there. Torn
Not only did he walk off the field, he played with it.
I know, that's fucking insane. Like what? Like holy shit! Like this dude. Fuck you, Sashi Brown.
You want to talk about North Dakota tough?
Yeah, I got respect for that state because the only thing that I knew that came out of there was the movie Fargo.
I have so much respect for Wedge, but you know what? The more I keep thinking about this, the more I'm actually kind of excited to see my guy, Nick Foles.
Yeah, that should be interesting, but I don't mean to shit on you. I don't think you guys are going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, Because I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but 4 years ago to this day, December 11th, Nick Foles appeared on Sports Illustrated as the Eagles' savior.
Yeah, I saw you retweet that. It was a Snow Bowl game too, correct?
That's unbelievable to me, and we're just excited and we're ready for the ride. But at least I did like what Doug Peterson did yesterday. I liked what he said today when he obviously told the media Carson's status. We came out with Nick Foles and we threw 8 straight passes. And this is why he said he did that. Because he wants to show the team that we're not going to be conservative with Nick. We trust the offense. It's going to be the same. And that we're not going to downgrade.
Right.
Unlike Houston, who, as you guys could see with Tom Savage, they completely gave up on their season.
Who gives a shit? They're not going to be picking until the 3rd fucking round.
Oh, I know. Which, by the way, EDP snapped. He just uploaded the video if you want to watch it after this. He snapped. He snapped.
I was waiting for that. I was really disappointed when he's just like, our goddamn season's over. You know what I mean? I'm just wait. I was like, I didn't even watch the whole video. I'm just like, he's not going to freak.
Oh, I know.
Like that's why I went there, because we were waiting. So I hate that the Eagles are good, because this was supposed to be the season of EDP freakouts, and we haven't got shit.
Well, he finally did one. And just a spoiler word, he blames Carson Wentz's injury all on Doug Peterson.
Oh, of course he does.
And he wants Doug Peterson to be run over by a bus.
Oh, my God.
Because according to EDP, if he would have ran the ball down there, maybe Carson wouldn't have gotten hurt. And then Doug Peterson doesn't run the ball, which even though we've had 41 passes to 32 runs yesterday, I would say that's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know me, when I want to run the ball, I can. Of course, the game we played in Madden, I was backed up at the 1 yard line, so I came out throwing, so I didn't really get the balance I wanted to, but...
Is it weird that I keep thinking about that game in Madden? Like, that was probably the best Madden game we've ever played. Like, it felt like it was a real football game. Me and you were coaches going head to head.
And I'm still pissed off about it. I cut TJ Yeldon. Send the culture.
Interesting.
Send the culture.
Thanks for letting me know that, because now I can probably trade Chris Ivory for some assets.
I think we're past the trade deadline, aren't we? Because aren't we in like...
Oh, yeah, fuck. I'll wait till the offseason.
All right. Well, anyways, wrap up, because this is supposed to be a Browns review, guys, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, we just kind of combine it, because we missed our podcast Saturday. So
yeah, we did, and that was my bad. I'm sorry. I was studying all day and shit like that.
No,
so we will have a podcast though this Saturday where we will be going over a lot, and it should be an exciting day of football, because I don't know if you know this, but there are actually 2 games on Saturday. One game's going to be shit, and one's going to be really good. Shit game is.
Are you sure not next Saturday?
No, it's this coming Saturday, December 16th.
Oh shit!
Bears and Lions are on at 4, which that's a shitty ass.
That's not good. That's not really a shitty game. That's actually going to be pretty good. I kind of want to see Mitch Trubisky go head to head with Matthew Stafford. I've been rooting for Mitch Trubisky just because he's from Cleveland. I really got nothing against the Bears.
And then the night game is a huge ass game. It's basically for the AFC West title, Chargers and Chiefs.
Jeez, who would have thought that? Chargers and Chiefs for the AFC West title?
But you see what Anthony Lynn did? He started 0-4, and look how he's gotten his team.
Yeah, he completely rallied them, and it's just. I know. And I don't know. Fuck you, Jackson.
I'm still trying to understand how Ben McAdoo doesn't have a job and Hugh still has a job.
I know. You know what? And I don't know. This sounds.
Because Ben McAdoo started 11-5. What the fuck happened?
Well, he had Tom Coughlin's players. I call this the Paul Brown effect.
What the fuck happened?
I call this the Paul Brown effect. Okay, Blanton Collier in the 60s and the early 70s took over the Browns after Art Modell. Fuck him, by the way. Art Modell fired Paul Brown because he didn't want to sell his ownership and just coach. Nah. Asshole. I fucking hate that guy so much. The more I read about that guy, and I know he's dead, and I hate dead, and I hate talking about dead people like that. But the more I read about this guy, the more you find out how much of a scumbag this guy was. He was that guy. He's the guy who would go up to the sweet, innocent old church lady and find a way to rip her off. You know?
You know
And
how great it would be if the Browns beat the Ravens, even though we all know it won't happen?
I'm going to the game. I got tickets for
Oh, you are?
$2. Yeah, I got them for $2 back in October.
Oh,
And
my God.
yeah, and this is before Alex Collins ended up becoming the second coming of Marshawn Lynch, and then the Ravens got really hot. So I'm probably going to go there for 3 quarters and go home. I'm probably going to leave the stadium super pissed off. Let the reality sink in that 0-16 is a complete possibility. Go to Chipotle, eat a sad burrito, and go home and cry.
I don't think we win a game on the road, so this is like legit to me our only chance.
Oh yeah, big time. And I don't know, there was a lot of Packers fans there, and it just shows, and everybody's like, I hate Eagles fans. I texted you. I said I will not attack Eagles fans unless I am attacked by them. Okay, and that fucking happened last night. Even with Wentz's ACL tear, they still found a way to be assholes. They were like, they're like, Browns fans sold their tickets to the Packers fans. They're not loyal like us.
Well, I'm not defending them on that. But I mean, I will say this: if I was a Browns fan, which I am, but if I had tickets, I would sell them too.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, you can at least get some money for them. Some with fucking Packers.
You're gonna go to the game, have fun. I don't even want to go to the game.
You know what? It's gonna be a snow game, cold weather game. I love those kinds of games. Those are the games that I live for. So I'm kind of excited for that. I don't like this. I love baseball. I love the Indians. Don't get me wrong, but I hate sweating my ass off watching baseball. Oh. I fucking hate it. I mean, I love and appreciate guys like Lindor and Kluber and Jose and all those guys, but I don't like dripping with sweat and having to be like, oh, okay, we just scored 4 runs. I'm gonna go get some water. I
love it because me, I love the hot weather.
Yeah, I know. We are complete opposites when it comes to that. I love freezing my ass out. I know it's a weird thing. Everybody down there like, it's gonna snow, but I want to go see the Browns. It's like, oh, good, it's gonna snow. Good.
See, I went to the Browns game in 2014. The last time we were good against the Bucks. The next time I will be in First Energy Stadium will probably be in 2020 when Carson Wentz comes to town.
We're going to that game together because if John Dorsey can't get his shit together, he does have his shit together. If we can get our shit together because of John Dorsey, and we're good, dude, it's going to be a good game. Like, it's going to be like the Rams-Eagles games where both teams are just duking it out, back and forth, and forth. And whoever has, that string of luck at the end, like you guys did last night, is gonna end up winning that game. So me and you, but we're going to that fucking game. Book it.
I just thought of this weird point. Think about this. Let's say the Chiefs completely fucking collapse at the end of this year.
Mm-hmm. No. I know what you're going to say, and it's not going to fucking happen.
Is there a chance we get Andy Reid?
No.
Don't get me wrong. I know he's a choke artist, but I do like Andy Reid. I mean, he's the coach I grew up with.
If it means going 12-4 each year, I'll think about it. But I'd rather hire a guy like Pete Carmichael or Darrell Bevell.
See, I'm not in love with Darrell Bevell. Most of that offense is all Russell Wilson.
Yeah, true.
Jim Bob Cooter, I'm not even starting to love because I told you that offense has just not been that great lately. Like you said, I mean, they do score a lot of points though, which is what I look at. I mean, they put up monster numbers. I don't even know who the hell I want. That's the sad part.
Names that have been thrown out there have been Pete Carmichael, the offensive coordinator for New Orleans.
I don't think he's leaving New Orleans.
He might. You never know. Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator of the Lions, but you really want to get another defensive line.
No. Do not want him. He's a horrible coach. The Lions almost gave up to the Bucks yesterday.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't think of anybody else? There's not. Maybe Jake Gruden will get fired because Dan Snyder's a fucking
That's
idiot.
what they've been saying.
That would be an excellent hire.
I take it, Gruden, because I don't think Washington's that bad. They have nobody around Kirk Cousins.
No, Kirk Cousins, that pocket collapsed within 2 seconds.
Even though what did concern me though is DJ Swearinger after the game said, I knew that we were going to get blown out because we didn't have a good week of practice.
Oh,
that does concern me.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on hiring college coaches, especially after the Chip Kelly disaster. But knowing one who's had experience, I'd definitely hire Jim Harbaugh in a heartbeat.
I mean, Jim Harbaugh is the one that has experience. I think if we pay him a lot of money, he will come here. And
I agree. I think
he's do it because the Niners fucked him over.
Yeah, I think he's getting sick of getting his ass kicked by Herbert Meyer every year. I really think he is like that's just got to take a toll on you. You know, like that was like your main goal. You could have gone winless, but you could have gone winless every year as long as you beat Ohio State, and he hasn't found a way to fucking beat him yet.
Right.
No, that's
However, I'm thinking about this. If we somehow land Harbaugh, do you think we land Cap?
We'll see.
I'd be all for it. I'll be honest.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not too big on the quarterbacks in this year's draft. I think there's a lot of good quarterbacks on the market that we could go get and spend our draft picks on players we actually need.
So who would you take number one if you weren't going to take a Josh Rosen or a Josh Allen?
Well, I'd have to look at the draft board because you know me. I don't know anything about college.
I know. Would you take a guy like Saquon Barkley number one? That just seems odd. Some people have us taking Bradley Chubb number one, but we don't need another defensive end. We already have a good duo.
I would either take an offensive lineman, either right tackle or left, to replace Joe Thomas when he eventually goes.
Need a left tackle, obviously. I think, and Connor Williams out of Texas is a really good prospect. And Orlando Brown.
I would take Saquon Barkley because I think he's an amazing player.
I don't know. What does concern me is that, I watch a guy like Bryce Love and Kerryon Johnson. They surveyed the field before they ran. Saquon Barkley just runs. So
I think Kerryon Johnson is an injury issue. That's a huge issue. Of Leonard Fournette if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, skill-wise, he's good, but it was a shoulder injury. You could tell he was babying the shoulder. The fact that you got to admire him though for playing with a shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: that's why I always say it's hard to study college because a lot of these colleges don't run pro offenses.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I don't spend my time watching it until these players get to the NFL on Sundays to see how good they are. Because, I mean, you look at guys like Jared Goff. Of course, we all thought he was shit. Well, I didn't. I knew it was a part of Jeff Fisher's system. And now he has a great coach in Sean McVay, who I warned everybody about, by the way. Because I watched him in Washington for 2 years, 4 games, and we finally beat his ass yesterday because we never did when Sean McVay was the offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Redskins always beat us.
Sean McVay's a great coach. I really think he should. I really think he should win the Coach of the Year. Just for turning that
down to him, Doug, Sean Payton, and then of course Bill Belichick's always in the conversation. There's a lot of guys.
Here's why I would take Sean McVay over Doug Peterson. He took Jared Goff, a guy who I prematurely claimed was the white Jamarcus Russell, and is
that was wrong. I told you that I saw something if he wasn't in Jeff Fisher's offense.
Yeah, I know. I was no Jeff Fisher apologist either, but I don't know.
Mind you, Mike Penn lost to Jeff Fisher, so.
Oh fuck yeah, I remember that. Pretty badly too. Todd Gurley ran all over our ass.
Yeah, and Nick Foles did get screwed up by Jeff Fisher. I think that was the point I was going to make. Thinking about it, and now Nick Foles is in a good, comfortable system that he knows. So we'll see. It's crazy. This NFL season has been so freaking crazy with injuries, and even New England got hit with Edelman. But look, the Eagles, and you can.
That doesn't matter because Belichick can just take some no-name receiver and turn him into fucking Randy Moss.
You can say whatever you want about RED's schedule, but we have overcame a lot of injuries this year.
No, I know. I was just
Linebacker in the league, one of the best. Jordan Hicks out for the year. Jason Peters, in my opinion, next to Joe Thomas, the best left tackle in the NFL, out for the year. Darren Sproul was probably our best running back when it came to change of pace and helping our offense out for the year. Now we have our freaking quarterback out for the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you something, or at least talk to you about this. So Joe Thomas tweeted something about Carson Wentz, basically saying, I'm thinking about you and praying about you, whatever. Please tell me why Eagles fans are technically legally retarded. Their franchise quarterback just goes down, and you have Eagles fans on his Twitter making fun of his injury.
I can't tell you.
I know you don't speak for them, but they're fucking assholes, dude. I know you're a good one. I respect you because you've been an Eagles fan since fucking McNabb, But it's just so insufferable.
Jeff Garcia tweeted out he's ready for a workout. I thought that was funny.
With the Browns again, that'd be nice.
In 2006, apparently Donovan McNabb tore his ACL, and he came back, and 2 years later we made the NFC Championship game. So that's giving me hope.
Yeah. Wait, it took him 2 years to recover from an ACL injury?
He came back in 07, and in 07 he got hurt again.
Oh, yeah.
That was not a good year, and I will forever remember this play because I swear to you, we could have beat the Colts in that Super Bowl because I think we would have beaten the Bears. I'll forever remember this play. It's 4th and 10 at the Saints' 33-yard line. I think we're down by 4, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Garcia throws first down pass to Hank Baskin. They call illegal formation because Brent Selleck wasn't set up. Okay. Instead of going for the field goal, making it a one-possession game, Andy Reid punts the fucking ball.
Oh my God!
And we never get the ball back. And by the way, I think we only had one timeout too.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's why I would not want Andy Reid as my coach.
I will never forget that because I was sitting on my dad's lap. It was when I was like 5 or 6 or how old? I don't even goddamn remember. It was maybe I was 6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7.
Great.
I was probably 6 or 7. I don't know. I'll remember this for freaking ever. Being so excited that Hank Basket picked up a first down and then that freaking dumbass Terry McAulay screwed us again.
Dude, that guy fucks over everybody. I told you that he was responsible for Bottlegate.
Yeah, he was also responsible for that play that Nick Foles threw to Jeremy Maclin in the back of the end zone against the Cardinals that wasn't called. Then he was responsible for the NFC Championship game where Donovan McNabb threw one down the sideline to Sean Jackson that he didn't say was pass interference.
How that guy still has a job is beyond me.
I don't know. It's upsetting.
Hugh Jackson I got a notification from Cleveland.com that says Hugh Jackson doesn't believe report that new GM John Dorsey wants to hire his own coach. Well, Hugh, you're wrong. He was getting fired. I think he knows it. He's going to get fired. He's going to run back into Marvin Lewis's arms, and he's going to be like, I missed you so much.
Okay, do you think he gets fired before Black Monday?
Yes.
I'd say if we lose Christmas Eve, he gets fired.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then we didn't get better because we'd be 0-15. And the only way I think that Pittsburgh game, I think they're going to play their guys because I think they'll be playing for potentially the number 1 seed.
Yeah, we're fucked. And do you think, like the 08 Lions team, they had no talent. So if we do go 0-16.
This is going to be the worst team in NFL history. I'll say that.
Okay. But do you think. Yeah. Damn it. I hate you, Jackson. But anyway.
if he goes, let's say he finishes the season 1-31 in 2 years. Somebody said tell Belichick to go 0-16 for the next 50 years and still have a better winning percentage than Hugh Jackson.
It's true.
I believe it.
It's true.
Oh my God.
Fuck, what was the saying?
Oh, did you
Yeah.
hear what Hugh said?
Wait,
By the
wait,
way,
wait. So the 09 Detroit Lions went 2-14 the next year because they were in complete rebuild mode.
right.
I think the Browns can be the first team to go winless and win 10 games in a year.
Oh my God,
We have the talent to do it, and
that's
we're getting even
unbelievable.
more
Oh,
talent. How fucking crazy would that be?
crazy. Oh, so did you hear what Hugh said?
No.
This is what he said. I believe it was on Friday. I believe he goes, "Well, my first order of business is to get this grass out here heated because
Oh my god.
listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. Because in the future, when we're playing playoff games out here in January and February, we have to make sure the grass is ready." And I'm like, Hugh, you're gonna probably be playing outdoors first of all. So why the fuck would you have heated grass?
The field is heated at First Energy Stadium.
That's retarded.
No, it's not. It's actually the reason for it is because if it snows, it's not as bad. But I don't
Yeah,
think
but
they
the
would.
Buffalo game was fun.
Yeah, I know they have a heated field and it didn't fucking work because it was the reason. I no. Here's why they have a heated field. So it's to ease. So like when you like
I
slam
get
onto the turf,
yeah,
you get it now. So like when you
yeah, I
slam
get
on the
it.
turf, it's not like fucking concrete.
Anyways, he's going into this baffling of how
He was a jackass for saying he wants a
next
heated
year,
practice field.
he's next year we're gonna be 11-5 and we're gonna be playing playoff games in January. It's like, bitch. First of all, win a fucking game.
Exactly. If he was 5'11" saying this shit, I'd be like, yeah, that boy.
That's
You
that's
know?
what Tony Zarella said on the news. He got so pissed off. He's just like, okay, Hugh. First of all, win a freaking game
He's
before
so
you say
sick
any
of
of
it.
that shit.
Tony Zarella is he's so sick of his shit. Because like he went out for I remember like interviews back in 2016. Like when he'd interview him, he'd be like, "It's really refreshing having a guy like you in town." Blah blah blah. And now like every time he interviews, he's like, "Why would you fucking read option on third and long?" He's like, those are like his questions now.
Oh,
We're
all
so
right.
screwed. We're so screwed. This dragged out. Oh, this is one of the longest videos I've ever created.
Well, thanks for letting me come on this review today, even though it wasn't really a review. It was more of us just bitching because
It
there
was
was
a
really nothing to
review.
review about.
It was a review for the first like 7 minutes, and then we just bitched about our team's incompetence.
Well, because Hugh Jackson cost us that game. We all know it.
Oh, I know.
But people are still. I don't get how people are still defending. He has no talent. He has no talent. I don't give a fuck what talent you have. Clock management is simple fucking math.
The way we played last night or yesterday shows that we do have talent.
Mm-hmm.
That it's in the coaching, and Hugh Jackson really shit. He really shit the bed not way. If he would have won last night, if he would have won yesterday, then people would be talking about how wow, Sashi really was the problem. This just confirmed that he was the problem.
The drive before the overtime that we had on second down, you know that nice catch by the Valve, and then third down the
Was
draw
that
by
even ruled a
Njoku.
catch? I kept hearing that wasn't ruled a catch.
The Valve was ruled a catch, but the Njoku one was not.
Yeah, and why the fuck you're passing on third down? It's beyond me.
I kept screaming at my TV. I'm like, why the fuck aren't you running the ball? If you were my offensive coordinator in that situation, I am sprinting down the sideline to you, screaming, run the fucking ball. Run the
Oh, I know,
fucking
and
ball.
that's a case where you would run a draw play and not doing it at shotgun. You know, that's where like you would need to mimic where like okay they're back to pass and just hand it off.
Or
Or
you
if you
get in the I formation and you just pound the fuck out of the ball. I don't even care if you get negative yardage. The goal is just take the I'm off the clock.
exactly because Green Bay had what one time out at that point.
Well, I don't know if they had 1 or 0, but even if they didn't, even if they stopped us and they forced us to punt, you force them to use that timeout.
Mm-hmm.
That way they don't have any. Instead, they had a timeout in their back pocket. We stopped the ball with 2:52 left. That changed the game.
Oh, I know. And then Crowell let's not even get started with him. He fucking slips.
No, wait a minute. They didn't have a timeout. Here's what happened. I remember this. Q called that 3rd down 2 because if we convert the first down, it's game over.
Mm-hmm.
So Q wanted to outsmart him by passing. I'm just thinking, just run the ball. You take it down to the 2-minute warning. They're gonna have no time. The guy's clock management is just unbelievable. I mean, I thought Andy Reid was bad until I met Hugh Jackson.
Sorry, I had to mute my mic for a second. I didn't hear anything that you said because I had to talk to somebody. I'm sorry. Can you repeat what you said?
So if you run the ball on 3rd and 2, even if you don't get negative yards, they have no timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take it down to the 2:12 mark. You punt it away. They may get one play up before the 2-minute warning, but they're probably not going to have enough time to go down and score it. At that point, you could play a little bit more conservative. You could play dime. You could put your safeties back at that point. Okay.
Right. That's when you need to put your safeties back. And I don't know shit about defense, and I know that. I even know that. I know that the prevent doesn't work. I know that if you get too conservative too early, you're fucked. Okay. I mean,
Hugh Jackson's worse at clock management than Andy Reid. I never thought I'd say that.
Oh no, I know this is a disaster beyond all proportions. But anyway, fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, okay. So if Chris Tabor's special teams coverage didn't find a way to fuck up, let's say we did pin Packers down at I think where the punt originally landed, 15. Do we win the game?
You can't. I would say no. Just because I think Greg Williams would just play prevent.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't really say because you don't know. Maybe Brett Hundley tries to force it. Actually, on that one play where he dumped it out to Jamal Williams, if that was a run, it would have been a touchdown. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a run.
You know what else really hurt? Now I'm thinking about it. That Jamal Williams fumble in overtime, and none of our guys could fucking get to that ball. That had the ability to shift the momentum towards us. Although I did appreciate Jason McCourty just flat out saying, he's just like, I suck today. I did appreciate that coming from me. He's a real team leader. Oh, did you see Kenny Britt's agent talking shit on Twitter about the Browns?
No.
He's like he called Hugh Jackson a part-time coach, which he's not wrong. But
all right. But so my mom's calling me, so I'm gonna head out on this.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up because we've been doing this for an hour. All right. Later.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys. So you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me at _Batch55. Subscribe to F95533's channel. I do a podcast on there every Saturday when we can, if we're not busy. So, yeah. Follow me on Twitter. Blah, blah, blah. Go Browns.